Hello, welcome to the Nellie and Eve podcast. I'm Helen and I'm the founder and dyer behind yarn brand Nellie and Eve Plant Dyed Yarns. And you find me here today on a very rainy, pretty grey dismal January afternoon in West Wales, UK. Thank you for joining me. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, then this is a little space where I share my knitting and crochet projects and my dyeing, the wool that I'm dyeing and yarn colourways, and a little bit about my dye garden. Not today though, because it's pretty horrible weather out there. If that's something that you're interested in, then settle down with a cosy drink and perhaps your latest project, and we'll get going. So, hi everyone. It's been ages since the last episode. This, by the way, is episode 8. Can't believe this is my 8th episode, but here we are. And it's been ages. Obviously, we've had Christmas in between and all of that loveliness. Hopefully it was lovely for you. It was for me, although I got really ill just before Christmas with the bug that's going around, huge, horrible chest infection and laryngitis. So I have a cup of my trusty lemon and ginger tea because I do lose my voice after a while. It's still lurking. So apologies for that in advance if I get a little bit frog in my throat. As I say, it's dismal January. The lighting is the best I can do. So, oh gosh, that's 2 apologies. So I apologise for the poor lighting. It's, like I say, it's the best I can do. I don't have professional studio kit. If you've seen my other episodes by now, you'll know that this is not a professional podcast. It's just a little bit of me sharing my makes and loves with you, and I hope that's okay. So I have got a finished object that I am wearing, and I'm really, it's kind of all about that really. So settle in for maybe, I don't know, 15-20 minutes perhaps, and we'll talk about this lovely cardigan by Laura Penrose. I was really fortunate enough to be one of the test knitters for this lovely cardigan pattern in October. I have to say it's been really, really interesting. Now, this is my last test knit of 2024. All of my knitting last year was test knitting, and I have to say how much of an enjoyment it was because it really pushed my knitting skills. It's one of the reasons why I did it, and this did so as well, but in a really interesting way. So here is the Midland cardigan. It's got a double knit band, button band down the front, garter stitch. It's got a taper shaping here with a little oversized shaping here, and it is all done in garter stitch. Oh, there's a faux seam here as well, running all the way down through the cuff. And I love it. It's possibly a little roomy from what I'm used to, but that's me, not the pattern. I tend to overestimate patterns, and I like to always go one size up. I don't know what that's all about. It's just me, really. But in this case, I should have stuck true to size. Note to self, when I knit the next one. So yes, there's going to be another one on the needles soon because it's such a cool pattern. Midland Cardigan by Laura Penrose. She is a really clever designer. It's knit sideways, and there's a few sideways constructions out there. This one's really clever, and it's it just keeps your interest, because unless you've done it before, you're not quite sure which way you're going next. And I quite like that. Don't get me wrong, I love a standard raglan or drop sleeve sweater, top down, bottom up, whatever, with tons of stockinette. I love it. That's great. But in between, I like to do something different, and this was it. You start at the side seam and you knit across the front and do some shaping here, and then you go around the back and you come down the front here. That means that there are two seams, side seams. However, she gives you a version where it's seamless, so you can do I think it's called Judy's Magic Cast On. So there isn't a seam to sew up if you don't like doing that. And then you pick up for the sleeve, drop sleeve. By this, there's not much sleeve to do because the shoulder comes right the way down here. But you pick up the sleeves and work those in the round. There's a cuff, and like I say, there's a double knit button band here, which I had never done before. And oh my goodness, once I got going, I had a few hiccups because I couldn't get my head around it at all, even though I did a swatch. And it's difficult, it's just different. But once I got going, oh my goodness, it was so satisfying. It's lovely. And personally, I think it makes the cardigan, it just gives it a really professional finish. And Laura says that it is completely integral to the structure of the cardigan. All garter stitch, did I say that? It's knitting garter stitch, the entire thing. So if you know garter stitch, it tends to stretch quite a lot. So that button band just sort of anchors the garment so you don't get it getting all wonky and out of shape. It's so clever. It was so lovely to knit up. I really enjoyed every part of the experience. The pattern, Laura's really cool. She has a great way of explaining every step, the way that you would really understand it. She gives loads of modifications. There's all sorts of things you can do. You can size it, shorten it, lengthen it. There's all sorts. Very concise, brilliantly written pattern by Laura. What else can I tell you about it? Oh, the yarn. This one is knitting my DK Welsh Jacob DK in colourway Roast Chestnut. And I have put together some kits which are available online now. And Laura has kindly offered a 10% discount on the pattern as well, with every purchase of the kit, which is lovely of her, isn't it? So that 10% discount runs until the end of February with the kit purchased by me. So what else can I say about this gorgeous? It's one of those cardigans that's going to stay in your wardrobe forever because it just does everything. I personally really love it worn, done up. I think it looks really cool. It's going to look lovely over a summer dress as well when the nights are a bit chilly. They certainly are up here in the mountains. But it looks cool with everything, and I really recommend it. That is my complete and humble own opinion, but I really recommend this knit. It's lovely. The pattern has just been out for a couple of days, just over the weekend, I believe, and it's already rocketed up the Ravelry chart, which tells you something. People are loving it. So if I was you, well, again, that's my recommendation. I would certainly put one of these on your WIP pile for sure, but put it at the top of the pile because it's a real cool one. So that is the finished object. I am really happy with it. It didn't take that long to knit. I did have to pause it for 10 days or so when I was really unwell. I mean, I was that unwell I couldn't knit, which is means I was really, yeah, that's pretty bad, hey? But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. It was really lovely to do. So that is the finished object, Midland Cardigan. But I like to have something else on my needles as quick as I can. If you know me by now, I don't have whips all on the go at once. I don't have something I can then just quickly pick up and start. I am just a one whip only kind of a person. But I found this lovely pattern design, which is a top-down yoke construction garment sweater. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry, can't get my words out. By Anna Joshvad. I'm sorry, Anna, I've messed up your surname. Huge apologies. I will put it here for you. And it's the Vittra Sweater. I've done a couple of mods on it already, but this is it so far, and I am loving it. It's got a little bit of colour work in it, not too much. And, well, what is supposed to be Latvian braid, but I haven't done the Latvian braid. I didn't really care for it, just because. And I find for me, when I'm knitting, I knit it too tight and I didn't want that round here. So I just did a simple knit slip stitch with the two colours, which I'm really happy about. Subtle colours. This is Welsh Jacob DK again in blue spruce and a bit of the roasted chestnuts that I had left over from lovely Midland Cardigan. And it is meant to be really cropped because it's to be worn with over just a dress, which I love to do. So I've got to just my midriff here, and then there is a wide rib hem. So I've got a little way to go, just not too far down, and then that'll be the length, and then a bracelet length sleeve, I think. I don't really like very long sleeves. And that is the whip that I'm doing right now, which I'm really enjoying. So that's what is on my needles. This is the Midland Cardigan. Let me see if I can show you. There. The kind of a thumbnail. I think this is a thing that you do like that. Oh God. I really should work out this whole podcasting thing. I will one day. It's just when I'm in the mood, I'm in the mood. So here it is now. So there is a slight script, but it's not that long. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I hope this is okay for you guys. Apart from that, let me just have a sip of this. We're heading to the end of January. We all know January is a bit of a long month, and here the weather's been interesting. At the beginning of the month, you'll have seen some footage. It was my perfect weather. It was very cold, dry, and frosty, and sunny, and it energizes me like nothing else. I absolutely adore that kind of weather, and we have been gifted lots of it at the beginning of the year, beginning of this month, and now we're into storm number 3. one of which was pretty hairy and we lost all our power. Storm number 3 is around me at the moment and it's just very windy and very rainy. But that's the way it is. And I'm not going to apologise, but that's the forecast. I'm British. We always talk about the weather, so that's the forecast. But we're at the end of January now, or nearly, and I have been dyeing up lots of lovely yarn in lovely spring colourways because I am going on to do the Unravel Yarn Festival in the middle of February. So that's what's coming up. That's what I'm working towards. Unravel is a fantastic festival in the south of England, in a beautiful old market town of Farnham. If you can come along, please do. It's the most loveliest venues in an old maltings building. It's the first time I've done it in the February, so this is going to be fun. I have exhibited there previously in the September event, which I really enjoy. But I fancied trying it for February. So if you are coming along, then please say hi to me. It was always really good to see you. It's always lovely to meet everyone. Yeah, it would be super. So I'm dyeing lots of spring colourways in the most wonderful hues and tones that have been inspired by the landscape around me, and especially inspired by the colours that were evident on the cold frosty mornings, because although you may not think that's spring, the weather was so clear and crisp, the colours were really popping. So we have bright blues and teal blues of winter, spring skies, and deep tealy greens, all sorts of wonderful colours. I'm not going to tell you all of them. You're going to have to come along and see them at Unravel. But I will, if you can't come along. I know a lot of you aren't even in this country. So if you can't make it, there will be a shop update very shortly after the Yarn Festival. So the festival runs from the 14th of Feb, 14, 15, 16, 14th to 16th of February. And then I'll have a shop date soon after. So that's what I'm working to then. The exciting news as well on the day of the festival is that I will be launching a new pattern by the lovely ladies at Twin Set and Pearl, Rachel and Jo. They have designed a shawl especially for me, which is fantastic, and it will be knitted up in my Single Farm BFL, which I have dyed up already in the most gorgeous colours. I can't wait to show you them. So that's a special shawl that's coming, and you won't see it until the festival. Although I think maybe the girls might talk about it just before in their podcast. So if you want to have a little sneak peek, head over to Twin Set and Pearl podcast. But it's going to be a gorgeous shawl. I've actually not even seen it up close yet. I've seen beautiful pictures of it. It uses 2 skeins of yarn, and I can't wait to show you. So that's what's coming up. And I will do a little bit of footage at the festival, hopefully. Well, just to give you a bit of an idea of what it's like, because we all like to have a little nose around people's stands and stuff. So I'll try my best to get as much footage as I can for next time. And I will see you then, hopefully. So I'm hoping that the podcasts like this will be a monthly thing. if that's something that you would like to see, then please give me a comment. Also, comment on the whips that you're doing right now. What's your project right now? Because before I picked up the one I'm on now, I was at a bit of a loss. I have a whole heap of patterns, loads of inspiration on all sorts of sites, on Pinterest, on my pattern folder, on Ravelry. But sometimes it's quite nice to see what other people are doing, and it may not be something that I've seen before. So I always like to know what you're doing, what you're up to. And again, if this is something that you would like to see more of as well, then the only way that I know about it is if you comment here, but most importantly, if you subscribe and thumbs up. There you go, I've done that bit, but it's the only way that I know. So if that's for you, then please let me know. So nearly 21 minutes. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much for joining me. And you take care of yourself wherever you are. Lots of love. See you next time. Bye bye.